Absolute Power by Darth Sidious. The Weakness of Inferiors. The Empire has only begun to be built, but its foundation is the anger of the dark side. Although the mindless subjects know nothing of the shadowy majesty, the true power of the Empire originates with the Emperor. The promises laid out by the Rule of Two have been fulfilled. The Sith have been brought to glory, and the Jedi to destruction. As Darth Bane and Mother Talzin knew, the weakness of the Inferiors is self-evident. The weak do not understand the Force. They are ignorant and lack power, but they may still be exploited for gain. No ruler can manage an entirety of a complex as the populated galaxy without knowing how to manipulate others. Fear is the spark that drove my march to power. Even now it fuels the engine of my empire. The weak must be trained to fear the consequences of betrayal. They must dread that their neighbor's loyalty is greater than their own. The anxious will whip themselves into hysterical nationalism without further prompting, for fear is self-perpetuating. The weak live in terror that they will be judged for their failings and be put on display, that they will be punished. It is a belief that should not be discouraged. The False War. Fear was a necessary component in destroying the Jedi and burning away the petrifying vestiges of the Republic. But first I had to create that fear. Fear of revolution, fear of destruction, and of death. I had to create a war on a massive scale. My apprentice Count Dooku rallied star systems to his banner, inflaming passions among Rim citizens. This naturally deepened the fears of the core residents, who clamored for protection like brush kits mewling for their mothers. The clone army I had prepared was met with applause and relief, and so began the Clone Wars. It did not matter at all that I dictated orders through the Separatists through my apprentice, nor that every Republic victory was followed with a carefully planned defeat. The benefits of this false war were countless. From the clone army came a battle fleet and an arsenal of new mechanismed weapons of war. Overnight, the Republic had a class of military elites who swore their loyalty to the Supreme Chancellor. The senators feared that being painted as disloyal would make them unelectable, so they supported measures to dismantle all checks on centralized power. On the opposite side, the Trade Federation and the Commerce Guild and other corporate glamourites joined together to protect their profits. They unknowingly pledged their allegiance to the Sith. The Jedi did not want the war, but they had little choice. They had to join the fight, lest they face public scorn. There on the front lines, my war struck down my enemies and shredded their morals, until they were on the brink of the dark side. The Jedi were never the true heroes. I saw to that by manipulating the HoloNet. The people were led to fear the Jedi's ignorance and strange power. By crafting the news, the clone troopers and their noble chancellor became the fearless heroes of the Republic. When the time came for the Jedi to be eliminated, the public did not mourn them. When the Senate learned that the Jedi had attempted a coup and needed to be exterminated, they responded with absolute certainty. And when the people saw smoke rising from the Jedi Temple, they felt relief. The useful bureaucrats. My master, Darth Plagueis, developed an obsession with midi-chlorians, neglecting his greatest talent, manipulating the strings that kept the galaxy from degenerating into anarchy. As a key figure in the intergalactic banking clan, he was well acquainted with the business leaders and politicians who shaped the very galaxy. Yet, for all their power, not one of them was recognizable to general citizens. Control of this invisible steering committee is vital to the rule of the Empire, for their fortunes are tied to the regime's success. The corporate entities, the Senate, the HoloNet, and the military are all under my control. The loss of any one would undermine my central authority. There are, of course, unspoken members of this vital committee. Nothing could be accomplished without the tacit support of petty crime lords. Chief among those are the Hutt cartels, the Bothan spy networks, the Black Sun Underworld Syndicate, and the Bounty Hunters Guild. These groups are not in any measurable way different from the bankers and traders. They will remain content as long as profits are strong. But fear must be stoked from time to time. They must be reminded what doing business with rebels and seditious leads to punishment and financial ruin. The military families of the Corps hold influence over their sectors and have long hungered for a strong hand at the top. Although the Clone Wars have ended, I have heard no whisperings from anyone wishing to dismantle our armies. I will fortify the Galactic Empire in my authority with the greatest strength the galaxy has ever seen. TIE fighters will scream through the skies while sand troopers, stormtroopers, and armored walkers will round up dissenters on any planet unwilling to submit to my rule. Imperial Star Destroyers will orbit above population centers, waiting for orders to open fire if their leaders fail to see the benefits of becoming an Imperial possession. Finally, my Death Star will be the ultimate battle station and the personification of fear. Its weapon will shatter planets and extinguish all will to fight across the galaxy. When complete, the Death Star will spell the end to the insignificant threat of the rebellions and organized protests. Hiding in plain sight. The galaxy is free of Jedi, and the citizens rejoice. Therefore, it would be foolish to replace their regime with an identical system led by the Sith, at least publicly. The weak do not understand the Force. They variate those who appeared to be ordinary people like themselves. They cheered at the news that a resolute old man had survived a Jedi assassination attempt. In Palpatine, an ordinary senator from Naboo, they see a model of human achievement. My apprentice and other agents of my will are fearsome embodiments of that dark side. Mere rumors of their presence are enough to frighten citizens into obedience. But those same citizens must not know that the Sith Lord has constructed the Galactic Empire until it is too late. But that hidden truth is in no way diminishes my triumph. The Sith have long operated from the shadows, and the 1,000-year wait of Darth Bane is over. The Sith have exacted their revenge. The galaxy praises the Empire, and the feeble-minded are not worthy of understanding its true origins. Like Darth Bane and my master before me, I have honed the tool of deception. Darth Bane kept a low profile, but it was Darth Plagueis who, as the public face of the intergalactic banking clan, shaped the economies of the entire regions. In truth, everyone wears a mask. When speaking to others, a false persona can charm, seduce, or frighten. A Sith knows that all interactions are masked. It is no great difficulty to don multiple masks when the situation demands it. All beings want to make sense of their reality, but none of them wish to think too deeply. They gravitate towards words that confirm their existing suspicions. In my decades as ambassador, senator, and supreme chancellor, I did not once encounter an exception to this rule. It was true whether I was reminding the Senate of the need for war powers or sitting across from Master Yoda, and convincing him to send more Jedi Knights into harm's way. None suspected the duplicity of my identity. In fact, so convinced the Jedi of their superior insight that they were easiest to deceive.